Hello, my friends. It's been a while since I've made a video about anything, but I figured now's a pretty good time. I know it's been a while. I've been busy with life and whatnot. Got married. I know. But yeah, I figured I've been playing some video games lately. Actually, I played through Red Dead Redemption 2. And I kind of wanted to make a video on that, but ended up not. Maybe one day I will. But I'm not here to talk about Red Dead Redemption. I'm here to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Okay, now my personal history with the Kingdom Hearts series is not a lot of history, honestly. I played someone farted. I played a little bit of the first one and a little bit of the second one years and years back, like 7-8 years back. I couldn't get into it. And before that, I feel like it was a series that I'd always wanted to get into because I love Disney and I love Final Fantasy. There's no reason I shouldn't like this game. But I couldn't get into it. I tried. And with 3 coming around in a couple weeks, I figured I'll give it one more shot. One final shot. One final mix. Final mix. I probably tried to play this game like 5 times. But I finally beat the first Kingdom Hearts game. It took like 17 years, but I did it. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about. My feelings on Kingdom Hearts 1. I know this game has a huge, rabid fan base. So I'm sure I'm going to get all sorts of people with different opinions, which is awesome. That's cool. I don't care. This is opinion alert. Opinion alert. Opinions are awesome as long as they're recognized as opinions. So here are my opinions on Kingdom Hearts 1. It was good. Alright, end of video. Later. I'm just kidding. Definitely had problems. Okay, let's start with my expectations. Like I said, my original expectations, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like this game. It's an action RPG. You go to Disney World. You go to Disney realms and it's made by the Final Fantasy guys and like I should love it. And I always thought that I would. Okay, let's go to. I'm jumping around everywhere. The character designer / director creator Tetsuya Nomura, not a fan of his stuff. I'm just not. At least of his design work. I don't like his design work. I think it's one of the things that kind of turned me off from it. Like initially, like he. If you've never seen Kingdom Hearts but have played Final Fantasy X, think of played Final Fantasy. Think of Final Fantasy X. That is his style. Like weird, asymmetrical, non-practical outfits full of belts and chains and zippers, and it's nonsense. I hate it. I still hate it. Can't say I hate it. I don't like it. So I have that going against me already. So I play the game and I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna like the Disney stuff more than I like the original stuff. You know, the Nomura stuff. Turns out I was totally wrong. What? I love it. The story, at least in the first game, was definitely the highlight of the game. Yes, let's just cover gameplay first. And I'll tell you why I pick the story over the gameplay. Okay, so you fight a lot of bosses in the game. There's a lot of enemies that you fight. Biggest enemy though, that camera though. Like seriously, the camera is terrible. Ugh. Like not just in combat, but in exploration. Which half the game, there's 3 parts of the game. There's exploration, there's combat, and there's cutscenes. Cutscenes, fine. The cinematography, the direction, the voice acting is passable. We'll talk about all that stuff later. The combat and exploration are just ruined by the camera. Oh, the camera. And the jumping. Like, Sora does this weird jump where, like, he'll jump and then, like, his legs will, like, go, and then, like, he kind of floats and you can kind of control it. Like, it's terrible, guys. I played a little, like I said, I played a little bit of 2, and I can already tell that 2 is, like, super, like, they fixed a lot of the problems when it comes to controls and combat. That's definitely, it was definitely frustrating to get through, but I did it. I got through it. I pushed through it just because the story was awesome. Another thing with the gameplay, they have, which I actually liked. I always wanted this in a video game where have all these worlds connected, kind of like the Mario 3 map, where it's just like levels that are nodes and they're connected by a walkway, and like Mario's like beep, beep, boop, 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 like walking to node to node, level to level, but have like something to do, like travel wise, like, and they did it with these gummy ship levels. So basically, like, you go from level to level, and in between level you have like a mediocre Star Fox level. I mean, they're not stellar, no pun intended, but they're okay. I've heard a lot of people like whine about the not whine, but complain about the gummy ship levels, but I mean, it was pretty much just like spamming shoot and dodging stuff. There really wasn't much there, but I love Star Fox. And you can customize your own gummy ship. You can like build your own, which I didn't really do. The controls were weird with it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. It was like Legos, but it was like virtual Legos. I couldn't figure it out. So I just used the stock gummy ship, the high wind, and it was fine. Plus, they give you the ability, once you travel to a place, you can like warp drive. You can just skip the segments, which is nice. Other than that, the mini games. Let's talk about mini games. They're terrible. Once you get to the 100-acre wood for Winnie the Pooh, oh, they're bad. So bad. The boss fights on their hand are actually really fun. They're, for the most part, they're engaging and interesting. No real complaints there. I didn't like the Jafar fight, both of them, because the first one was just like, run around and smack Jafar while he laughs at you. And the second one was like, dodge giant fireballs from Jafar while you chase down Iago and slap him with your Keyblade. And that was it. Those were the boss fights. But Oogie Boogie's was cool. Ursula's. The demon on Bald Mountain, Churzabog. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but that was awesome. Because that's like my favorite part of Fantasia, and I was not expecting to fight that thing with the music playing. Super cool. So, I guess I'll probably talk more about gameplay here and there when I talk about story, but I just want to get down to the meat of why I liked this game, even though it has a lot of negatives. At least the first one, the floaty controls, the camera. Meh. So the story, it is simplistic. at least the first one, I heard the series gets super convoluted. But I mean, Metal Gear is my favorite franchise ever, and I could probably, like, I'm an encyclopedia of Metal Gear. So if I can handle that level of convolutedness, Kingdom Hearts should be nothing. This first game is simple and clean. No pun intended. That was totally intended. But yeah, it was. You could definitely tell that they were setting up. It was a really good example of like setting up a story that is in itself. Like, they could have never made another Kingdom Hearts game, and the story would hold on its own. But there was enough stuff in there, enough little mysteries that they could easily just like, oh, we got greenlit for the sequel, which they did. So I hear. So I liked the simpleness for the most part. Like I said earlier, I was expecting to like the Disney segments more than the, original content, in terms of like all these new characters, like the new characters, the Kingdom Hearts characters, like Sora and Riku, and the Kingdom Hearts characters. I was like, okay, I didn't expect to really like them. I was like, I just like the Disney characters because I like Disney, and I want to see Squall again. I like Squall a lot. But I'm gonna say I was wrong. Like, the Disney worlds were fine, but it fell into this trap that a lot of work like this does, where it's just like, let's rehash the plot. It's not fun. It's not fun. It was not fun for me. Like, it's like, cool. I'm in Wonderland. There's Alice. Oh, there's the doorknob which talks. This is so. And there's the. This is just the story to Alice in Wonderland. Or like when you get to Agrabah, you're like, oh, I love Aladdin. This is so cool. Oh man, this is so. Oh, it's just. This is just the story of Aladdin. Like, I get why they did it, but and it gets better as the story goes. But the first half of the Disney stuff, like, there's nothing there that ties into the themes or anything. It's just, hey, go to this world and close the door so the Heartless don't come in. And help them with the Disney movie story. And that's it. And I didn't like it. It was lame. Plus the early Disney levels, pretty much up to Monstro. I'd say probably up to Monstro. Terrible design. Terrible design. I mean, it's obviously my opinion, but it is terrible. Wonderland, terrible. The Deep Jungle, terrible. Monstro, terrible. But there was some good stuff. Nightmare Before Christmas, awesome design. What's it called? Neverland, or Captain Hook's ship, well designed. It's like you could tell, like, it's weird. It's like you could tell, like, it opened really well. Like, the game opened with like a strong opening, and then they kind of like, you can tell they kind of got their footing. And by the end of the game, but when you hit Hollow Bastion, is like when the game starts. In terms, it sounds bad. It's like near the end of the game, but it's when they actually start exploring the plot and actually start exploring the themes. I just feel like the narrative pacing and the level design could just be more consistent. And the last half, the opening and the last half of the game is good. It was good. I like the level design. I like that stuff. But man, like, half or more of those Disney levels were just like grueling, not fun, which sucks because it's Disney. And I'm like, oh, I want to like this Disney. Oh, it's just the same story that I'm just rehashing the story, and I'm getting lost because the level design is terrible, and there's so many jumping puzzles and platforming, and the jumping and the camera is terrible. I was just not having a good time, but I pushed through it, and like I said, once you hit Hollow Bastion, that's when stuff goes down. Okay, I have a question. I'm sure there's people down in internet comment land. Can you explain this to me without spoilers? Because I haven't played any of the other ones. They say, okay, Hollow Bastion is where they say Hollow Bastion is where all the Final Fantasy characters come from. Like, how does that? That doesn't even make any sense. Because Final Fantasy isn't one realm. Anyway, that's just like a random question that popped in my head earlier. I'm like, wait, the Final Fantasy characters said that's where they all come from, but they don't all come from the same place. Then how did... I don't know. It's a random question. But yeah, I loved the story. I loved the voice acting for the most part. All the Disney alumni did a great job. Everyone did a good to mediocre job in terms of voice acting. There was no like real bad voice acting. But yeah, by the end of the game, I wanted more, which is good. Good. That's a good thing. So I picked up the final mix HD, 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8, which is dumb. 2.8 is dumb. Title. I haven't played Dream Drop Distance yet. Yeah, I'm excited to play Chain of Memories and see what that's all about. So I guess that's it. I'm glad that I finally got into the series because I've wanted to, because it looks cool. And yeah. Comment below. Don't forget to smash that like button, alright? Hit that subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to get some notifications from me, alright? Thanks for watching, everyone.